Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I'm Barry Cowan, the president of the Deerfield Beach Computer Club since August 2005. I want to wish you all a happy Easter, or if you celebrate it, and whatever else. We'll talk a little bit more, but we've got Judy Taylour coming on right now, giving a tremendous presentation on digital wallets. So go ahead, Judy, take it away.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So many ways to pay. And this is the one new way that you can give it a go. And I gave this presentation, I've given it several times lately. And when I gave it to Bill James Group in Oklahoma City, and I said, he has hybrid meetings like you do. And he said, I said, how many people have used or is thinking about a digital wallet? And one of the members that was online, and he started waving his hand around, and he said, I have, and I've used it, and I think it is so great. And I said, what did you do? He said, I used my Zoo card. And I said, what? And he said, I used my Zoo card. And I said, could you spell that for me, please? Okay, Z-O-O. And I'm thinking, all right. And he says, it's just like my library card. And I thought, what a good way, if you haven't started using your digital card wallet yet, what a good way to do it where you don't have to worry about any money. And you can start out small. And so I thought, oh my gosh, you could put your library card in there, and that could be a way to practice on swiping your wallet the whole 9 yards. And I thought, interesting way to approach it, and so ways, because we don't want to be in line someplace and goof up like I did coming in, and people look at us and say, oh, seniors, they don't know how to do stuff like this. So I thought using your Zoo card or your library card is not too shabby. And this is me. And you have the different speakers because you guys are members of APCUG. And it's contactless payment. If you are somebody who is one of the ones that is always, you go someplace and you still are getting your little bottle of sanitizer out, you don't have to think about that now, because there doesn't need to be any personal contact, period. The FBI thinks it's a very safe way to pay. We've talked about this many times at our every other month FBI, in the Los Angeles area, the FBI Smart Senior Group. And they're looking for scams. They're sharing scams between the AUSAs and Loco Leos and Judy Taylour. I have no clue how I got involved in this in 2017, but I learned more good stuff to share. And they really encourage people to start small, but start using a digital mobile wallet because it's the safest way to pay. Use of physical credit cards is decreasing. You can't shop at Target with a check, so they've stopped that. And businesses say, we think contactless payments are among the ones that we really like. 47 of us in 2022, on up to 90% of us in 2024. Do we use them a lot? Not necessarily so, but at least, we're getting our feet wet, so to speak. I love it. QR code payments are becoming less popular. I didn't even know there were QR codes, for heaven's sakes. So think about whether this is something you want to do. Right off the bat, more sanitary option. There's no physical contact required at all, i.e. that can help reduce the spread of germs. That darn flu germ that's going around and it's hitting some people so hard. It's amazing. And well, maybe you'll get less of something like that because there's no contact. Faster transaction times. My oldest daughter husband uses it like crazy. During the summer, he is one of the movers and shakers of high school and junior high training for the ASB, the kids that, do all the fun things after the football games and the baseball games and things like that. And he's just had this grin from ear to ear. And he said, oh, yeah. He says, when I bump at Santa Barbara and I have to go out to Costco and go shopping, it makes it even faster. You just whip it through and then you just keep on going right out the door. But he just loves using his reduced cash handling and increased customer satisfaction. So all you need to do is tap your card. And his comment was, you just get in line and you put your stuff on the counter and you whip on by and you put it back in and he just shows you, his little hand is up there and he says, you just get in line, and then you go whoosh right over there. And he says, you're done. So that's what we need to practice, is standing in line and getting it so we really trust that it is going to work. And it's all the different ways like that. So digital wallet is I love this, our financial command center. Didn't think you had one, but you could. Securely stores any type of payment information and passwords for various payment methods and websites. We don't have to remember them. Your phone wallet is, safe. No information goes through any place. You don't need to carry a physical wallet. My daughters haven't used a purse or even one of those small ones unless they have, someplace where they need to look like they're business person and, don't wear and use their wallets to pay for things. And we don't need to carry the physical wallet. All our information is in there securely, and they can't mention that enough. It is secure. There's no trace of you, no numbers in any way, shape, or form. You've got security on what?
So you're saying we could use that in ATM just by hitting the tap to get
yes. And you can use your smartwatch. Can you see yourself just whipping your, wrist over the payment where you're going to do it, and you're done. Say his thing is and he just uses these terms. You just wave your device above the card reader and keep on going. 2025, 2.3 billion digital wallet users in the world. In 2024, 63% of US adults used a digital wallet. Now, we have no clue what they're using them for. They could be using their zoo or their library card too, but there is just so much more to it than that. So they can store your credit and debit card information. We always say, oh, don't ever buy anything with your debit card. Well, this is totally safe. No information is visible in any way, shape, or form. We went to a concert out here in Thousand Oaks, and at their main event area, and said son-in-law paid for all of them, and we just sailed right on by. And he held up his phone. They knew what he was going to do, and boom, we just walked right on. You travel a lot. You can have your airline tickets in there, your boarding pass, your customs declaration, your car insurance cards, your vaccination cards, everything but the kitchen sink. 14 states as of 2024 is kind of all popped in July, mid-year, and you can have your driver's license in your wallet. And, you get pulled over by the cops and they come walking up. May I see your license, please? And you hand him your phone. And he's got the same stuff on his digital phone, and Bill James again, cite him, he has his car insurance card also in his wallet. And it was in there first. It's just always been there. And it updates itself automatically. He doesn't have to think, did I cut it out? And do I have my latest insurance card in the bright yellow envelope in the glove box? You don't have to think about that because it automatically gets updated all of the time.
Wow.
And so if it's, digital wallet, oh, you need my insurance card too? Here you go. You need to check and to make sure that your state does it, because there's only 14 states to date are doing it. But I would imagine that over time, every state would be doing it because it goes really fast. And in California, the two are linked. Not all of them are. And like John Kennedy, you have to carry, and you have to check, do I have to carry my physical license no matter what? So if you were getting stopped for something or you needed it, you could either decide, am I just going to give them my phone, or am I going to get out my, my you want to call it real wallet, and pull it out and show them the actual driver's license, your choice. But again, it's very few states that do that. And every single state is different in what they do. So both your digital wallet, your mobile payment apps enable us to say, we are doing this no cash, while protecting financial account information and passwords. No cash, no checks, no debit cards, no credit cards. And I'm always looking for the lightest wallet at possible, because you have a few of those plastic credit cards. And so, you've got it there, but you don't, you've got it in your digital wallet. I've found somebody have a gazillion cards and apps and everything. And that's how they use theirs. Other people, they'll have one or two cards. That's all they use to pay. They use one card, like for the grocery store. They use another card for someplace else. So it cuts down, for me, my heavy wallet. And like I said, I'm always trying to get the smallest wallet as I possibly can get. So it's easier on my back. So simplifies how we make payments. Like I said, I recommend we practice a few times. Go behind your relative or your good friend that is using this and watch what they're doing, because we're kind of clueless. Oh yeah, sure. She says you just and walk on by. So you walk on by behind somebody and do what they're doing, because it's totally different to us. And it can be linked to bank accounts, credit cards, you name it. I talked to one of my grandkids back in Minnesota, and he said we use two cards. Both he and his fiance have digital wallets, and he said she's going to university to get her master's in sports medicine, and he's a newly minted third grade teacher, which is way cool. And they only use two cards. That's it. They use one for this and one for that. And they're very good about that. So they know exactly what they've spent and don't overspend, because it doesn't make much money. And she is only a student worker, so she doesn't make much money. Luckily, they have campus housing. And it makes it simpler for us to pay. And you decide, and one of, like my son-in-law, he says he has his card that takes it right out of his bank. No, it's not a credit card. He just has it out of his bank. And nobody sees the information. So way cool. So again, smartphone or smartwatch. I want to see somebody one day just wave their smartwatch over. I'll go out with him one day and we'll do that, because we both have smartwatches. We can send money directly to other people. Add your credit and debit card. on your phone, on your Apple Watch, iPhone, it automatically defaults to Apple Pay. I can remember a couple of years ago, well, they moved out here a couple of years ago, so it was before that, and you'd go to Ralph's and on their check yourself, no Apple Pay, no Apple Pay on every single cash register. And Todd goes, yeah, I remember that. Well, apparently Apple wanted money from Ralph's in order for them to use the Apple app. And Ralph said, no, thank you. We're not going to do that. Somebody gave somewhere because all of a sudden you could use your Apple card and you don't have to give anybody any extra money.
Excuse me, Judy, we have a question from Bernice Schmier. Says, can you put gift cards in this?
Yes, it's a credit card. They are looking at the strip. There'll be a strip that says, in the back, it'll say, oh, look at that. You got $50 gift card. And slowly as you use it, it's going to deduct the money out and keep you up to date with how much you have. You've got $2.95 left on that gift card. So anything to do with money that has a card like that, yes. And I would suggest that over time, you just start adding things. Just remember grinning ear to ear and whipping his phone across and keep on going. But you want to like introduce something new to yourself all the time. So you don't, oh my gosh, I can't remember. You want to be able to remember what you're doing and be very, cool, I know how to do this, we're going to be fine. And the service generally appears on your phone screen when you wave the device over the credit card reader. You can also access the feature through the digital wallet app. If you want to use Google Pay, there's Google Pay and Samsung Pay. It's just that you have to go to the Google Play Store for that. Samsung has its own area where you start using your digital wallet.
Excuse me, Judy, we have a question from Carol Friedman. It's very important. What if someone steals your phone? Only your lock screen code is security?
No, you've got other security on there, but it's the fact that what is great about this is nobody can see your information. One of the things you have to make sure you know is how to retrieve the information on your phone, just like you were using a regular credit card someplace. But you've got enhanced security on your phone. You just don't have a 4-digit PIN that you're going to use your face, you're going to use your fingerprint, you're going to use something like that. That's what the FBI, why it considers it so easy and secure to use, because you have the extra. I've got security on mine. How many numbers or letters do you have on your PIN? 4. I wouldn't say that was secure at all. You have to be more security aware. Just like we hear about our email, we have to be doing this to protect this to protect that. Phones, digital wallets equal their higher level of security.
So if your phone is stolen, that doesn't create a problem there?
No, because you've got your face on there, you've got something else, you've got 2FA that they're not going to know about. Again, it's enhanced security.
Okay.
I do next to the bottom bullet point, Face ID, fingerprint scanner, facial recognition, and then you have a passcode. We're having a presentation next Wednesday on passkeys and passwords, because it's password time in May. And I like to go on for our Wednesday workshop, whichever the security category for the month is. And so we're having a really cool presentation from Canada. I don't know whether people will appreciate appreciate that or not, but I've seen it and it is very interesting. Only because he's looks like, I thought he was an instructor. I went to the Victoria Computer Club's meeting and was blown over. 20 slides, but he gives us so much information. It's incredible. And then again, like I say, you got your fingerprint scanner, your facial recognition, and your passcode. He's going to talk about passkeys. So it gives you a sense of, hey, this is secure. But if you don't believe that and something gets stolen, then you're going to want to, definitely know how to shut it down and find it. And once your transaction is approved, Todd says sometimes you get a check marks. Hi, I'm done. Goodbye. Or you get the notification right there on your phone. Just that they don't, no paper, nothing. It's all in your phone. The ID theft resource centers says it can be less risky than traditional payment methods because there are security measures not available when somebody pays with a physical card. Uses 2FA, advanced encryption, and virtualization techniques. So,
two-factor authentication.
yeah, 2FA or MFA, whichever way you want to call it. But it's just the step up. And again, these senior scam working group that I'm involved with in LA, they talk about these kinds of things and how they're AUSA, they're the people that are in court prosecuting people and things like this. And they talk about, how much more secure it is because of the advanced security. Your actual card number is never shared with the store. When we are sliding a card through the point of service, POS, it can see the number. And your information can be stolen from the reader at your point of service. With your digital wallet, you've got much heavier security. Apps use a secure token, one-time passcode. The bad guys are not going to know that one-time passcode because you've got such good security. Again, it's like email. It's on us. And if we get our information stolen, it's not anybody else's fault but ours because we don't have good security. And we've been talking about this in our club meetings for 1,000 years. Usually encrypts the account and sends it to the company processing the payment. Is that really safe when you think about it? If the point of service system has been compromised, somebody at the store is a bad guy or whatever, and they have put something, like the ATM scam, where for years we talked about just go up to the gas pump and, pull on the device that you stick your card in. And I've actually seen people doing that, and we should all do that because you can tell if you shake it or you can pull it out, it's compromised. And all of our information goes from here. And my youngest daughter has been hit twice at Santa Clarita for gas. And the first time she has it all set up on her cards, and you all should have this too, with whatever banking or anything that you're using to pay for, is if you get this and you think it's compromised, shut it down. And she called me and she says, "Hey, Mom, I just had my Premier credit card, which is where we bank, shut down." And I said, "You got scammed, huh?" And she goes, "Yeah, wouldn't you know?" And our credit union immediately called her. She was back in the car, the whole 9 yards, going out of the gas station, and she got a call from the bank. So she pulled over to the side of the station and parked, and somebody had bought something in Orange County. We're in Los Angeles County. And it was, "Hey, Stacy." She was one of the original people with it. So not first time name basis with everybody. And they said, you're in Newhall, right? She goes, yep. And she says, the gal on the other end said, well, your card's just been used in Orange County. And I snapped your fingers and the number was gone. It was stolen right from the the reader. And this was before she was using her digital wallet. It happened again in the south end of Santa Clarita Valley. This time the call said, you just got your number used in Maine. And I mean, that's how fast these people work. So having more security with a digital wallet is a way to go, because she had to cancel that card. If think, okay, do I use this for automatic pay? Make a list. If she did, she had to contact everybody with a new card number. So she was not too happy about that in any way, shape, or form. Not going to happen with your digital wallet. Now, retailers and banks can collect data based on our transaction, so they know the products we like to buy and the stores we frequent, target that they can target us with for advertising. The biggest, I added this before I actually saw that somebody had it. There was an article about it. Because I'm not always, but sometimes I'm out with a no power iPhone. And so I thought the one thing that you're going to always have to have is some cash, or carry at least one old-fashioned credit card. And I read that in an article and I thought, how cool, Judy. You just kind of had a thought that might to be included. So near field communication is a step up from RFID, and it uses radio waves to identify and find objects. This would be vehicle tracking, loss control, tolls. Your dog is running down the street. Where in the world is he or she going? And NFC has a much lower transmission range. Key cards, data transfer, mobile payments, public transport access. Apple adopted it in 2014. It's been on every iPhone since number 6. On your Apple Watch. You can talk on your watch and pay with your watch.
Judy, how many more slides do we have?
Quite a few.
Oh, because we started late, so.
Well, yeah. So do you want me to talk fast or cut out some?
Well, if you think you can do that, we'd like to finish and end by 11:15 or so. Right now, I've got about 5 minutes of.
Oh, I didn't realize you're. Oh, okay. Google didn't get around to using it until 2011. So this is your payment over here. Many debit and credit cards have a built-in NFC tag. They're a step up with security. They're used in some transportation systems, gaming, home automation.
This is important.
No, it's all important.
Okay.
Keep hackers from accessing your digital wallet payment apps, as well as stealing your login credentials or money. If a thief gains access to our digital wallet, they may have the ability to make purchases or steal our money. Make sure, all on us, we enable all of the security features. You have screen and biometric locks. That's what I had on my front door. You need to definitely know, find my iPhone and find your Android device. You need to school yourself with security on your phone that you probably never would thought you would be doing or need. You know, avoid public Wi-Fi, disable it if it's lost or stolen. And you know the deal, you need a strong password. But we know this. We talk about it with our email. It's a step up, making sure we're a step up secure from just emails.
Check that link.
Oh, the idtheftcenter.org. ITRC. Just Google ITRC. Same thing, look for red flags. Did you really make that payment? You just have to think. It's what we've been talking about all these years about email security, and we want to make sure that it's correct. Okay. And the Federal Communications Commission has a lot of places that you can read about safeguarding your mobile wallet. You're all going to do something different. You're all going to be happy with the security options that you've decided to use, and they're all going to be different. It's going to be what you're comfortable with. And here's the Federal Communications Commission. They always have a lot of stuff about things like this. They are still around. You need to freeze your credit. You need to get your credit reports once a year. Get 3 of them. Do this.
From a special site, I believe it is, to get your credit reports. You can get them every quarter.
Right.
It would be a good idea. So you have from all the companies or whatever, you can split it out. I
Well,
think
they're free.
Barry, can you let her go on so she can get to more of the use things?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, but please do this. Freeze your credit. Get your credit card. It had me living in Florida. I'm a Southern California gal my whole entire life. I did fly through Florida twice, but they had me living there. So it's very easy to get things changed. You just need to prove who you say you are. But this is a definite, if you've never heard that before, freeze your credit card. If you're going to buy something big, ask where you're buying it from, which credit bureau are you going to go through? And they tell you Experian, then you talk to them and you say, unfreeze my credit. I'm buying a fill in the blank. And when you've bought it, you freeze it again. All free. Here's some apps. Apple Pay. Apple charges no fees. And this is the thing. When I was talking to people about, I even, got 8, I thought they were high school kids, junior hires, boys, 8 of them. And the first group didn't care who I was, but one guy was, deer in the headlights. It was so funny. And then he talked more than anybody else did. Google Pay, no fees. Samsung Pay, no fees. Perk of the service is you get excellent pricing on Samsung products. 30% off. You can trade. My head's on a swivel when Bill James, he is getting a new computer all the time. He uses his Samsung 30% off when he trades in his old one. PayPal. This is the only thing I use to shop online. I have the payments go through my Discover card that has, it gives me a few pennies back. Let's put it that way. APCUG, our dues are $50. We actually get $48.51. So every time I buy something from Walmart or something like that, that I really don't like to, I get a kick out of the fact that they don't get all the money. Shame on me. Of course, scams. There's always scams going around, just like, except Venmo, mobile app on your smartphone. And they want you to submit an account, put one together. Really don't like to do that. You look down at the bottom of these slides when you get them. See what is charged for you to use this transaction. Zoom or Xzoom is a PayPal account that works internationally. And you'll always see the exact fee and the amount your receipt will receive. Cash App, there's a group of friends in Oklahoma that when they go to dinner or to lunch, they find out what their bill is, and one of them uses theirs and says, okay, everybody pays blah, blah, blah. and they all pay, and it all goes to their Cash App, and from there it goes to the person who is, this is how much you pay, $13.25. Everybody pays their $13.25. They always include the tip. No money changes hands, no credit card goes from the server somewhere down the road somewhere, and they just bring the device over and everybody goes choo, 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 choo. Standard deposits are arrived, you get it within 1 to 3 business days. If I need my money right now, subject to a 1.5% fee. So they're not all free. This is one I would never use in this or any other lifetime. I rather use my Chase card. And again, it goes to my Discover card and I get extra, points that will pay part of what I buy at Amazon. But I don't use their pay program. Look at all, even charitable organizations have to pay 2.2%, 30 cents transaction fee. When I read that about charitable, I thought not for me. No cash no checks at Target. That was the end of, my presentation. And I stopped at Target where I don't shop there often. And I always go through myself and do the swiping and everything. And I got a kick out of it because I got ready to walk out and the guy that monitors was there. And I looked at it and I started to laugh. And he said, "What?" I said, "I just gave a digital wallet presentation and look." Oh, he said, "Yeah, we only started that last week." I thought, how cool. Walmart, works great. This is the in-store, open your app. It takes, in there, it has what you bought last time. If you use it for groceries or whatever. No fees. Sam's Club, no fees. I have been behind people at Sam's where it is taking, I don't think that person had ever gotten gas with a credit card before, and get it out of your purse, get it out of your wallet, get up there. And the next gal goes in, takes out her phone, her digital wallet, and goes. And I sat there and I really thought the first lady was never going to be able to get her gas. And this one just right up there and off she went. It was just a good demo of having one of these. And there's our friend, Bill James, and he lives his life. I don't think this man knows what cash looks like. He uses all of these. He even uses the Western Union app to get money places, but there's his Cash App that he loves. And PayPal, he uses that for online and around town. At the last minute, he decided he wanted to go to the earthquake. Well, we just had an earthquake here in California, the eclipse. And he got his glasses and he started to head out. And he said, "Oh, Mr. App here," he said, "it's such a small town. I want a shirt. And I bet I'll have to pay cash for it." And he stopped at the first ATM out of town, and it didn't work. It was shut down. And I'm thinking, oh, really? And he lives in a suburb of Oklahoma City. And then the next one had cash, and he got his cash, and he said, when I got down there, they wanted cash for everything. So he had sense enough to stop. So the rest of this is how to set up a wallet. Here's what it looks like. You can put your AARP card there, go to Denny's and show them that pay with this, and you don't have to get out your payment card and another card. Best Buy, this is my son-in-law's, and as you can see, they're stacked behind. When you get ready to pay, you say, "Oh, I want whatever card this is." And, "Oh, I'm traveling. I try to pay with my Sky Miles card and get a lot of points, discount points there." But you pull out what you want, you put it on top, and boom, there it tells you right there, hold to the reader. You can have all of those passes. The second time the kids and I went to the same concert venue, we had to have paper tickets. So not everybody in the whole free world takes digital wallets. But there was a Best Buy, the whole nine. Google Wallet, tap on the add bank account or a similar option. Select your bank from the list or enter your details manually. So you can just, you know, scan it and use it or add it in by using your fingers, which is going to be the most reliable. Scanning it in probably, but you can, this person has a Google payment card, a transit pass, a loyalty card, a gift. There you go. Gift cards, shop and pay with a gift card, verify it's you with your phone ID and everything else.
Judy,
So
what about Zelle?
what?
Zelle.
Right there. What about, oh, okay. Well, it's kind of shut itself down. Add a payment. Again, you can transit pass, all of these work. There's your Google Pay. And
Okay.
here's NFC. And here's how to set up your a digital wallet. These are the kids who live over there because they bank with the logic. So she has different stuff on her phone than he has on his phone. They just got back from Europe by chaperoning the kids on travel during spring break. And this is what they took. She didn't have anything else other than this. He didn't have anything else. They're both going to have their phones, but it's the fact that they don't have to have cards that they have to take out of their wallet that you have to take and, you know, and swipe it through, get germs. Maybe they have different germs in Europe. I don't know. But this is Thousand Oaks. Now look at that. It tells you right there that they spent no, this was it. They spent $51.25 at Diamond Cleaners 2 hours ago. So this is what you're going to see after you use it. So you can know the transaction went through and then it was for the correct amount. And California is one of the areas that does have the digital driver's license. And it's called your California State ID, and it says it's ready to use, no problem. And Florida does too. And with Apple Wallet, you set a default card if you want to. You can customize this however you want to start using it. But these are the cards you can put in here. And there's your straight driver's license or state ID. And it's an app. And they go to all the Angel City soccer games. So he bought her a season's pass for Christmas. And she just waves this as she goes by. And they check off, you know, one season ticket. And it tells you hold it near the reader. So you're not clueless. It's kind of just ordinary, but it says she's on the third renewal. Well, he has a pass too. But here's her regular seat, row B, seat 6, and entry info, section 223. And the ticket type has been gone through 3 times now. And they go to every single game on the weekend. And here's Florida. It took me the longest time to find this. This is just a what if, but apparently you have to change your driver's license in Florida every once in a while. I mean, we have to elsewhere, but that's because you change what it looks like. Okay, so this is California, and here is Florida. And that's me. So I do look like something. But like I said, his zoo card and your library card. Put them in, go to the library and do something with it. check out books with it. Make it super simple for yourself to learn how to put it in. And I definitely would have a sit down with one of your kids who probably uses a digital wallet and have them walk you through it. I don't think I would want to just try it myself on my own without practicing. Just oh, that old lady up there, she's not going to know how to do this. Oh my gosh, it's going to take us so long to get through this line. You don't want to be that person. And that is all my references. And here's a Zelle. They are no longer, there are 2 slides on that in here, but I have them hidden. When somebody just looks at the presentation, they're right there to look at the 2 things. They have recently dropped some kind of service. This is something I find little kids. Oh, we're selling our Girl Scout cookies. Do you do Zelle? Oh, we have 2 little girls had a lemonade stand. Oh, we've been walking for a long time. It's hot. Then, yeah, we need some more water for our dog. We're just about to the car. And well, we don't have any money. Do you take Zelle? And again, these are little kids in elementary school that are using these apps. It absolutely blows your mind. And when I was at the grocery store and found 8 boys walking in all at the same time, I thought, oh, this is way cool. And they really, again, when they talked about it, they had big smiles on. They just think it's so cool. And I'm thinking we can do the same thing they do. Why not?
Okay, we need to wrap up.
Do you rent someplace where you're only allotted so much time?
No, but we the Zoom usually goes, we have the full Zoom, so you could go beyond 40 minutes, obviously. It's not a.
Oh, heavens, yes. It's only $159 a year.
Well, that's a lot for us because we.
Oh, no, it's my personal account.
Oh, okay.
Quick question. Your
Yes.
person had a zillion different apps on there. Is this indexable or do you have to scroll through all of those?
No, you could put it in order like your credit cards that you have a digital wallet where you slide them in like this or you slide them in like this, and you can put them how you want to organize them. There's the kid he's not Minnesota, he's Michigan, and they use 2 cards.
Okay.
And that was it. So they could totally keep track of what they were doing. And if it was me, I use cards for certain things.
So there's like different categories. So my library cards and admission cards are going to be different places than my credit cards and different places in the coupon cards thing.
You
So it's
organize
separated.
it yourself.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you.
I mean, I have my wallet organized like that. These kind of credit cards are here. These kind of cards are here. So
Okay.
I automatically know where to,
Okay.
can't do it without looking.
All right, thanks.
I definitely would do that.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Judy,
Yep.
if you, I've got an Android phone right now, a Motorola. I'm considering switching to an Apple phone. If I did that, do I have to then recreate the wallet? Or if it's a Google wallet, can I access it from an iPhone?
To be honest with you, most of the people don't use the Apple app. It just comes with the phone.
Uh-huh.
To use the Google stuff, you have to download it. Most of the people that I have talked to about the wallet, they have their favorite credit card that they've been using for 16,000 years. That's the one they put in there. And you just, you got the information, you input it. And then Todd said, you just pull out which one you want. And and all that good kind of stuff. Or you might just want to use one that it comes directly out of your bank account.
Yep.
You
So
don't want to have to pay interest to anybody. You're not
So-
want to do that.
So if you have an account set up on Google Wallet on an Android phone, you go to an Apple phone, can you download the Google Wallet there and access it, sign into it just like you did from the other phone?
I
Better ask Google.
could ask my source, or I would ask Google. I would
Okay,
literally, and when you search for something like that, I would tell I taught tech classes to adults for 22 years. And I said, you'll hear, but words that, tech words. And I said, you don't have keywords. You would never know what keyword to use. And I said, just, use in your case, the different cards you like, and they don't use Apple Pay.
okay.
And so
Big
I don't
move,
know whether
Carol.
you can transfer from one operating system to the other. I kind of think you can't, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But check it out with our
Steve, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, Steve has his hand up.
Yes, on my watch, under wallet, it only has Apple Pay. How do I put a wallet on my watch?
on your what?
Watch.
This is coming through to me like Zoom.
Watch.
There's my your watch.
Wristwatch.
I can get a call on my watch. I haven't done anything. It just
Yeah.
automatically set itself up.
I know, but the wallet only has Apple Pay on it when you access the wallet app.
But you can add what you're adding in your phone. I should
Yeah, it should go to your
phone up,
watch.
then it would transfer over to your watch.
Correct.
Under-
You're not going
under
to have to set
Apple?
it up on your watch. Whatever you have in your Apple wallet, whether you have your old defunct Sears card that you can't use anymore, or
Percentage.
whatever, it's just it's going to transfer over to your watch.
Oh, great, thank you.
Yeah. They don't expect you to have to input everything twice.
Okay.
How
Well,
could you couldn't get a card in your
Yeah.
watch?
Push on the crown on your watch and it will list all of your programs, and wallet should be there.
Mm-hmm. But like I say, most people don't use it. They use their
Yeah,
favorite.
the wallet is there, but I just saw Apple Pay. I thought that was the only option, but I guess if I can add other cards, probably it would come in there automatically.
Mhm.
Great.
And I would bet over time you probably stop using some of your cards. We all might have many cards, and we got money here and we got money there. That over time we can consolidate it, and like one set of kids say, they just have it hooked to their bank account.
okay.
Right.
Let's
Debit.
the final question from Larry.
Oh, it's not really a question, it's a historical note. How many of you used American Express back in the 1970s? If at all? You would go
think I
to
did.
the store, give the clerk a card,
Mhm.
and he would make a phone call?
You're kidding.
Okay, I don't know if you remember that. I did all the
Guess not.
computer communication software for American Express between the person that received the call and the American Express computers for the
Wow.
credit validation. The call went into a Phoenix call center, and an operator put it on a screen. I took it from there and fed it to the American Express computers, who fed the information back to the operator, who was talking to you on the phone.
Was there a
Just a
lot of
historical
fraud?
note. Yeah,
Was there a lot
this
of
is
fraud?
1970s. This is 50 years ago.
Oh, my son was born in 1970.
Thank you for
Seriously,
sharing.
was there a lot of fraud with all these people touching it and listening and typing and things? Or did we really not know about fraud back in the day?
Back in that day, no. I mean, and people trusted each other back then,
Yeah.
because they would read the card number out loud to the operator. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how far we've come?
Or regressed.
Okay, folks.
Okay.
Judy, I appreciate your coming. I know it was a wake-up call for all of us. We made it through. I want to wish you the best of health. I hope nothing happened when you were at Santa Clarita. Were you a part of that fire or rain issue?
At this time, we've had them many in the past. I lived there for 47 years. And we had many fires, but this didn't touch any part of Santa Clarita. The guy across the street from me, his electricity was out for 100 hours.
Wow.
In one of our conversations, he said, "Oh, gotta go. We just got the alert. They're turning the electricity off. Gotta turn my generator on."
Oh,
And I'm thinking, good grief. But yeah, we got the smoke and the ash and the skies that were horrible and ugly and everything, but no fire,
well, thank you for
no lights.
thank you for your continued support and friendship. It's been very valuable to me and to club members all over the country, especially at the CUG Speakers Bureau. So
Okay, now
thank
you guys, I
today.
want you don't forget about your wallets and your driver's license. Now, remember, you might live in 2 states. You're going to have to do your research and Google it. Give me the list of the 14 states or whatever. And you might have to do 2 driver's license. And if you move to Oklahoma, you've got to have your insurance card in there. No, I'm sorry. That was John Kennedy. That was Ohio. You
On
have
my iPhone, I have Arizona, California, Colorado, Georgia, Hawaii, Iowa, Maryland, New Mexico, Ohio, and Puerto Rico as driver's license and ID cards under wallet that will be accepted for driver's license and ID cards.
Yep, and in Ohio, you have to carry your driver's license. In other states, you don't. You're real,
well.
check it
So
out.
are we allowed to have Florida?
No,
Okay.
it's
Or
not. on the list. You can go to wallets. You know, when you go to wallet, all you have to do is click on a driver's license and ID cards, and it will list all of the states that currently require or they're using it. Florida is not on the list, which I'm not surprised. So
I look quite a bit for that because Ohio is a definite, you have to carry both. California, you only have to carry one. Ohio, you have to carry both. But my point is, if you live someplace else, you got to find out about them and just race on home, the other home, and forget that your driver's license doesn't work there. They
well,
don't have
you
it
know,
digital.
it doesn't take much to egg me on, but that wasn't a very funny joke. So I will wish all of you to be safe and healthy. Please check our website. It will be up, and so will be the video from today's recording should be up and running tomorrow. Thank all of you for attending. After this class, we're going into a summer break, and we don't know exactly when we will resume, but check the club site for that. So have a healthy, happy, safe summer and into the early fall. We'll let you know if anything changes. We're exploring other avenues, like when Kathy was here, she talked about the library out here in Century Village. We're going to explore a lot of other things, meetup groups, if we're no longer able to continue this particular type of presentation. But I thank you and I love you all for your tremendous support and everything.
I'm raising my hand. So does that mean you're not going to be a 501c3?
That's correct.
So you'll just be a social group like the Central Florida?
No, not going to be keeping that tax exempt status. We're going to let it run.
Okay, Costello, did you work on that? I don't think I saw you at any of our meetings we had. No, okay. Not one of your groups, huh?
Boo.
You know, he's a jinx, by the way. Okay, so but you are gonna be just a social group. That's what the Central Florida Computer Society is. And Mike Ungerman and even Stan, who died just after they had completed their forms and everything. And felt so bad that he did not really get to live through the whole entire deal. But we have several groups that are, I was never a nonprofit in the first place. I didn't find any use for it. But we have one in Southern California, and they're social, and it's just that there are no officers, nothing like that. They're all Zoom. Ungerman chooses to work with Discord. It's the members have found it easy peasy. If you are paying for $50, you get all the benefits that you get. We don't require, we being APCUG, we don't require anybody to be a 501c3, but it is quite an ordeal to get rid of it. And you need to give all your money away.
What little money we've got, yeah.
Like I say, that's way too easy.
Yeah, because it can only go to a charity. You can't distribute it to anyone else.
Like you could give it to a local teen tech club or something like that, something going with technology. No, it's the state forms and things like that. And I would definitely get in touch with Ungerman and have him share all the information. I have all the information because when I heard about it, I started attending their meetings. And so we've shared that with a couple of other groups that are going to, again, you can have a free Zoom account with APCUG. That's $159 that you don't have to come up with. So that's part of nothing to worry about with the money. And Zoom is great. Then you can get a free account through APCUG if you
Okay,
can't afford it.
okay. I'll be talking with you. I want to thank everybody for attending.
You bet.
Safe, be well. Until next time, this is Barry Cowan, the president of the Deerfield Beach Computer Club since August of 2005, saying be safe and be well. See you.
Don and Kringle signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.